The following content is provided under a Creative Commons license. Your support will help MIT OpenCourseware continue to offer high-quality educational resources for free. To make a donation or view additional materials from hundreds of MIT courses, visit MIT OpenCourseware at ocw.mit.edu.
Okay, so today we're going to have the final presentations from the student projects. So they did a lot of hard work. Some of them are still working upstairs and will come down just in time presentations. So just a few slides and on the format and how the judging will happen. So each team will have 15 minutes during which to tell us about the little project and to give us a little demo. We have at least 2 PlayStation 3s will be set up by the end of the class. One will have audio, the other will have video, and at least 2 teams will use them. The others will SSH in and show you their programs running on the PlayStation 3s that we have upstairs on the network. One of the things that they'll be graded on or scored on is performance. Some of the things we'll do after class is performance profiling to try to understand how much scalability you were able to achieve using 1 parallel processor versus 2 versus 3, all the way up to 6. So what we'll do is we'll set up some time with the TAs to do the profiling after class. And you can update your source code up until 9 a.m. So we'll do, you'll show us how to do the profiling, and then we can rerun that at 9 a.m. Saturday morning and sort of give you updated scores to change your grades, assign the grades. There are 6 scoring categories. Performance, and this first performance category is essentially what your performance metric is. You're going to define it, hopefully, and then you'll tell us how well you did. Project scope. This is essentially a measure, because each of the different projects were different. You pick your own projects. We'll try to get an understanding for how much you tried to cover in your project and what you actually did achieve. So we'll hopefully give us a good idea of that. Completeness, how robust is your code? How much did you actually achieve relative to what you wanted to do? Are there data races? Is your code reproducible with every run? Presentation and demo. So we've decoupled the 2 just because there are different ways people will be doing a demo. So you can sort of earn points in different categories. If you have a really good presentation, but your demo might not be so flashy, we'll take that into account. And then performance scalability, which we'll do offline. So each one of these categories scored on 10-point basis, from 1 to 10, 10 being really good, and for a total of 60 points. So for our judging panel, fortunately we couldn't get virtual Saman to fully work, so Saman's with us on the phone. We have Michael Gordon, Bill Thies, 2 graduate students in Saman's group. We have myself, Professor Steve Ward from MIT, and Professor Weng-Fai Wong, who's visiting from National University of Singapore, doing a sabbatical year here. Student presentations will dynamically reorder these based on who's available and who's ready to go. This is a rough ordering that was picked randomly. So Pramuk is here, he'll go first. And then I see Lumia Algebra, so they'll go after that. The ray tracing team is still in my office working, so we might have to bump them down. Soft radio team is here. Yep. Speech is here. Backgammon. Yep. Those guys were already having breakfast at like 9 o'clock. So. The 7th team, Molecular Dynamics Simulator, unfortunately, they're not here. That team is not physically in Boston, so they'll present tomorrow morning, but will not be considered as competitors in the competition. There is a countdown clock. Bill is running his laptop. You can see it directly in front of you. It'll start at 15 minutes, and every minute it'll tick down, 14, 13, all the way down to 0. And you can go into negative time, but we'll start subtracting points. So the longer you run over, the more points you start losing. Okay, so try to keep under the time limit.
What about questions?
There are questions. We can take those after the presentation. If it's a short question, let's leave all questions until after the presentation is done. Unless there's something pressing. I'll try to moderate. Okay? So if we're ready to start, come up here on.